So I had a nice moment the other day with my son. I was at the park and we were in the sandbox, and he's digging in the sandbox and I'm digging too because I realized that I kind of enjoy just digging around in the sand. And he's filling up his dump truck with sand. And then he walks over and he picks up these two big rocks and he carefully places them in the bed of the truck. And then he adds more sand around it. And it instantly reminded me of a principle that I learned when I first started studying time management. And this is the rocks, pebbles, and sand analogy. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. So we have, rocks. This writing's great. And then we have pebbles, not like Flintstone pebbles. And then we have sand. Okay? So if you start with sand, this is all the trivial stuff. This is all the stuff that doesn't really matter. Then you'll never get up to the rocks. You can never fill it. Okay? You need, if you start with the big ones, right? The big rocks, the big important things, then you can start adding the pebbles and the sand around that. When I played Skyrim back in the day, I was completely lost. I didn't even remember what the main quest was because all I was doing was little side quests around and just exploring. And if that's the goal, if that's okay, then great. But if you have some main big quest to slay a dragon or something like that, or save the world, then it's really hard to do that if you focus all your time on the side quests and not the main story. You'll never actually finish the main story. And of course, small quests are still part of the journey. They build experience, they build skills, you get some nice loot, you get some confidence because you're making measurable progress in some ways, right? You're like, I finished this thing, I checked it off the list. That's great. But make sure that they serve the bigger quest, or otherwise you just end up busy and not fulfilled. So as I was watching him load those rocks into his dump truck, I couldn't help but ask myself, am I filling my days with sand, or am I making space for the rocks that actually matter? And I challenge you to ask yourself the same thing.